So a new Trackmania update just released, and with it came two major additions, the wood surface and the snow car. This video will serve as an early tutorial on how you can improve on these new additions to Trackmania. So let's talk about the new car. This is the snow car, and it behaves very differently than the regular stadium car. Very quickly, let's talk about the things you notice right off the bat. The car is extremely responsive, with a very small turning radius. It also has a smaller hitbox than the regular stadium car, and it's impossible to drive while turtling on it. When you drive with the snow car, the name of the game is to not drift at all if possible. I mean, really try to minimize any drift whatsoever. This counts for every single surface, except for ice though, but we'll get back to that in a second. So let's go through a couple of examples. All examples I use, by the way, will be driven on maps from the new Snow Discovery campaign released by Nadeo when this patch dropped. First things first, if you're on keyboard, you probably want to bind the action keys found right here. They limit the steering percentage of your car. Of course, you can also bind them if you want to as a controller player. Beware, they don't exist on console. But the reason for binding them is that you actually lose speed if you steer too hard with the snow car. So try to limit your steering to just what you need. If you choose not to use action keys, then tap the keyboard as fast as you can. Controller players, try to get used to only steering a bit on your thumbstick. Really take advantage of that analog steering that you have access to. As I said, you really want to avoid all forms of drifting, and this is exceedingly difficult with a keyboard. Here are some examples on dirt where it's just insane the speed difference from just accidentally drifting a tiny bit. So try to avoid that. Now, of course, sometimes it is unavoidable, and in situations like these, I recommend either slowing down before the turn or drifting as little as possible as early in the turn as you can, and then no sliding the rest of the turn afterwards. That is to say, remove the drift as soon as possible. As I said, this counts for all surfaces except for ice. On ice, counterintuitively, you gain a crazy amount of speed from driving sideways. Literally, I have no idea why this is the case, but look at this difference. Now, you will have to play around with this yourself to get a better feeling for it, but on ice, usually, it will be better to go sideways. Even on bobsleigh, you want to go sideways. Specifically, you want to drive up the sides of the wall in the turns to gain speed. Again, don't ask me why, but it works. And it works really well. So remember, on bobsleigh, drive into the walls so you effectively go sideways in the turns. Now, when it comes to the regular stadium car on the new surface, there's a few things I want to go over. First of all, this surface has insane grip and very low turn radius as well. Get used to the surface, just play around with it to start with. But there are a few details that I quickly want to share. You can't drift on this surface, so don't even try. If you land sideways, your car just insta-grips. Again, you should steer as little as possible. Full steering loses a bit of speed. Not a lot though. And finally, a very slight detail. You lose speed if you steer too rough when you gear up above 4th gear. You will not notice this unless you hunt maps for pretty good times, but now you know. Also, there's this really cool trick where you subscribe to this channel and get cool Trackmania videos for free, so that's pretty sick. But anyways, that was quickly what I learned in 24 hours, so thank you guys for watching. I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.